Rodeo is America's original extreme sport, with its roots coming from the Old West when ranch hands challenged each other for bragging rights on who was the best cowboy. Circuit cowboys are the weekend warriors of rodeo. Regular Joes with regular jobs. But come Friday, they pack up and head out to compete in circuit rodeos. Not only for paychecks, but for the same bragging rights that started years ago.
In Central Oregon, the Deschutes County Fairgrounds and the Hooker Event Center just north of Bend is our host, as Rodeo Nation is pushing the barrier with the PRCA Dodge Columbia River Pro Rodeo Circuit Finals. Hello again, everyone. This is Wayne Brooks, and joining me is the 2004 World Champion steer wrestler Luke Branquino. We've completed 2 go-arounds of competition here, and some of the guys are going after the prize money available in the go-arounds. There's a lot of other guys looking at the aggregate. That's how they're going to get their slot at the Dodge National Circuit Finals Rodeo in Pocatello, Idaho.
In the bareback riding, Rowdy Buckner sits on top of the leaderboard, but only 15 points separates 1st through 6th. With the excellent rough stock that is here in Redmond, any of these guys could get to the DNCFR. And in the tie-down roping, Jeff Quayle is only 3/10 of a second behind Ty Sturza. Brad Goodrich has already wrapped up the championship, so the second spot for the finals will be decided between these 2 cowboys.
First up,
It's bareback riding. What an exciting night last night, but the top 6 on 2 head, that's the story.
Yeah, we have Rowdy Buckner with 160, then we have 157, 154, 153, 150, and 145.
Let's take a look at the rules of the ride.
bareback riding is the most physically demanding of any rodeo event. The cowboy uses a bareback rigging, which has a suitcase-type handle attached to a rigid leather body. The rigging and a required pad is placed on the horse just like a saddle near the horse's withers. The cowboy works his gloved hand into the rigging to get his proper and preferred grip, called the bind. When all is right, he nods his head to indicate that he's ready for the chute to open. A successful ride is for an entire 8 seconds, while the cowboy works to maintain body control and rhythmic spurring action atop an animal athlete that's determined to buck him off. A cowboy will receive a no score if he's bucked off before the 8-second buzzer, touches the animal with his free hand, or fails to mark the horse out.
Sean Culver, Grandview, Washington. Big shoe from Corey and Horst. Here's a national finalist.
Yeah, and Sean, 37 years of age, he's not one of the young guys anymore. He's going to get sore, but he made a great ride last night to win the go-round, and he's doing it again tonight. This horse really isn't bucking like he'd want him to, but he has his toes turned out, lifting on his rig and doing a good job.
He's a real veteran. He's real sure of himself, and that's not the easy way down. But it's a good thing his hand come out. When you come off of those horses away from your hand like that, he rides right-handed, or left. You want to come off your left side. That gets your hand out of there. Not that great of a score, but he's going to have to live with it. It's a 71 here in round 3. Bringing him up.
Yeah, that horse didn't perform very well, but Sean did a great job. Like I said, he could still beat these young kids.
There you go. Hang in there, buddy. Lee Lance, Molalla, Oregon. 542. There's no name on this horse, just a number. It's a colt. Flying 5 rodeo. That's what they do. They kind of wait and see what they're going to do. Then they name them.
72 on his first one, bucked off his second one, making a great ride right here. Look at that horse really jumping and kicking. If they're going to dock Lee for anything, it's that he's not really pulling his feet up to that rigging. He's kind of short stroking him, in my opinion.
Right.
But, he made a good ride. They're going to mark him points, but he sure could have been in the 80s if he would have really pulled them legs up to that rigging.
This horse has got some hang time in that front end. That enables you to get your feet back down into the neck a little quicker than you would on a horse that's a little shorter coupled in how they buck. Score rolling in, not bad. That'll work for now. 79. I'll bet you that gets him some money before it's all said and done. 79, Lee Lance, good ride, buddy. We're going to see a lot more of him.
Yeah, that sure was a great ride.
All right, bud. Pick up your money. Mitch Rickman, Val Butte, Oregon. Stonewash from Beard Rodeo Company. There's 4 generations of the Beard family on the ground, and I think rodeo business is in their blood for good.
Yeah, that's amazing. 62 on his first one, 72 on his second one. He's hoping to come in here maybe an 82 and have a chance to win a go-round.
Look at this.
Horse kind of quit bucking right there when she come into the fence and heading back to the left.
Just a little bit. Dodge boys move in there. The pickup men, you know, you've got to be such a good hand all around. Like a ranch-raised cowboy, somebody that can know how to handle these horses and get those guys off safely. That horse can kick you anytime, break a bone in the blink of an eye. Good job, pickup men.
Yeah, you know, they really don't get much credit in the rodeo business, but they keep these cowboys healthy. You know, if the cowboys don't hit the ground having to get off these horses, they last a lot longer, and that's what the pickup men are there for.
There you go. Reaching out, turning his toes out like that, trying to get the points, trying to make it work. You've got to shake hands with the livestock in rodeo. That's just the bottom line. If you don't get along, you don't work together, it's not going to work. I'd say they work together pretty good. 76 is what the judges are going to do for him. 7-6, 215 points. That's on 3 head. When you add them all together, that's the average, and that's what's going to count to get you to Pocatello's Dodge National Circuit Finals Rodeo. That's the ultimate goal for every contestant here at our circuit finals. Kirk Giovannini. He's already picked up 2 nice checks from Caribou from Beard Rodeo.
Yeah, you know, he's done well in the first 2 rounds, 77 in the first go, and then tied for second with Jason Havens with an 80. So he just put something together here. He's going to have a chance to win that average and go to Pocatello.
He's really got a good shot with this horse. They've won a pile of money this last summer on him. If he can just get him covered, make it look decent, it's going to be a good score. Nice. Oh, I think he spurred over his neck.
He did spur over his neck. That horse felt him. Look, he's mad.
He's angry.
You can see that horse feel him spur over the neck, and that horse ducked back the other way. When he did that, he had nothing to hang on to, and that horse bucked him off.
Right there. Yep, sure did. You know, there's such a fine line in between letting it all hang out, yet safetying up enough to make the ride. It's just a real fine line.
Well, exactly, and these horses are so smart. They know when you make a mistake, and they know how to get you off their back, and that horse did a great job.
Look at him, he's great, and he goes, I know I messed it up. Son of a gun. That happens some days. How about a look at the 79 a moment ago from Lee Lance? This is your leader right now. There's more Bareback coming up after this. Dustin Mulroney, Pomeroy, Washington. Little Iron from Flying 5 Rodeo Company's the horse. He's got a shot. He's going to need to be a bunch of points because he's 145 on 2 head. There's a lot of numbers here, but he's got a shot to go to Pocatello.
Yeah, you know, he has 70 in the first round, 75 in the second round. I believe he has to get to 80 points to tie with Sean Culver, but right here he's making a good ride. He's really got his toes turned out, reaching. That horse is turned back to the left. Kind of just got a little behind that horse right there, but, you know, that was a great ride. He's going to be in the high 70s.
Maybe a hair. You know, that was a solid ride. It wasn't super duper electric, but it was just good and solid. I think they're going to give him some good points on that.
Yeah, you know, I just don't know if it's going to be enough to what he needed to get ahead of Sean Culver.
Right. We've done a little math. He's going to have to be 80. I don't know if he did or not. Here's the moves. Nice kick there. That horse has got some good kick.
Yeah, that horse is really bucking good right there, turning back to the left, you could see, and after that horse kind of quits bucking just a little bit. You know, not quite as much kick towards in the ride, but still a good horse.
Tell you what, score's rolling in, and it is 77 points. There we go. That's going to put him 222 in the average. Nothing wrong with that.
No, it's just not going to be enough to get ahead of Sean Culver right now. He's going to be 3 points behind.
Yep. But remember, they pay 4 places in the average. 4 in every round, 4 in the average. Here's a shot. Bobby Moat, national finalist. Spotted Holly comes from that Major Holly bloodline from the Flying 5 Rodeo Company. He's bred to buck. Yeah,
he is. You know, Bobby right now is 154 on 2. If he rides this horse, he's got a chance to make Pocatello, but he still might have a chance if Rowdy Buckner wins the average.
There you go. Look at the style. Look at the style of this guy. When he gets tapped off, I think he wears a 42-inch inseam on his Wranglers, and when he gets tapped off, those long legs can really fly.
Yeah, you know, it's amazing. He's a big, tall guy, and it's hard for a taller guy to ride a bareback horse, but he does a good job.
Looking good. Just the right kind of horse to fit Bobby. They call him the spur master, and he certainly is. He's really quick with his feet. He knows how to ride those kind of horses. What are they going to do for him? Hey, I'm liking this. There's one side. Here's the other. 80 points. Attaboy, Bobby. See, we've got a situation coming on here where 2 guys in every event go to Pocatello. The average champ and the year-end champ. So whoever wins the most money that's here gets to go as well.
And if Rowdy Buckner happens to win the average, that's going to allow Bobby Moat, right now second place money behind him in the year-end standings, to roll up and go to Pocatello as well.
You bet. Don't forget about Jason Havens. He's right in there as well. Here he comes. Matter of fact, Bend, Oregon. Mackenzie Rimber from Beard Rodeo Company. He's going to have to be a bunch of points, and I think he's going to be. Look at this. Talk about let it all hang out. you've got to have a little exposure there, too, to kind of make that wild feeling for the judges.
Exactly, and it's hard for a bareback rider when a horse turns back like that to keep spurring. Jason did a great job. Another big guy. I mean, he's not quite as tall as Bobby Moat, but he is a big guy, and he rides bareback horses very well.
I think this guy jogs 1.5 miles every morning before breakfast. Physical fitness is so important in the world of rodeo today. You can't go to 100 of these, get on 100 of these kind of horses, these caliber of arm jerkers in a year, and expect to do it if you're not in top physical condition.
Exactly, and you can see in this replay right here, that horse is turning back to the right, and he keeps moving his feet, and that's hard to do. He does a great job. He's a national finals qualifier. Obviously, one of the reasons why he's made the national finals.
You bet. Now, 80's the score to beat. You think he did it?
I bet he did. That was a great ride. Hello.
Hey, hello. 83, good guess, buddy. Jason Sherman, Washougal, he's thinking about it too. Now, he tied Kirk Giovannini for second in go-round number 1. Another check wouldn't hurt his feelings at all.
No, right now I believe he's 150 on 2. He has a great chance if he can ride this horse well.
83 the score to beat. Now you're kind of throwing a lot to the wind. You're going to have to be a ton and really make it look good to be 84. These judges aren't giving any points away tonight.
This is another flying 5 horse. Would be interesting to see. Horse kind of took a run at him, but now he's really starting to buck pretty good. Not real high on the kick, but a lot of drop and a lot of power right there.
Ooh, that was no fun at all. Stay there. Get you a big old deep breath of air. Watch that left leg as he comes around here on the replay. He was trying to move it, trying to keep it in time, trying to keep it going, but those judges had a plain view of that left leg after he come around this corner, and he just got tipped off a little. Once you do that, you can't hardly move that leg. See it?
Yeah, exactly. His toes aren't turned out. He's just kind of scraping with the toe of his boot, and they're not going to be marking very many points for a ride like that.
Boy, I hate to see that. Lots of talent, 72 points. A little disappointing, but he'll be back again and again and again. Rowdy Buckner, Sandpoint, Idaho. Another flying 5 bucking horse. This kid has been all over the country and won just about every title you can win, and a national finalist.
Yeah, exactly. It's his first year to Vegas. After his circuit finals here, he's going in with a lot of confidence. Look how he's riding right here. Toes turned out, really lifting on his rigging. He's doing a great job right here.
Really solid. His upper body didn't even hardly move. Now remember, Rowdy's 160 points on 2 head. If he can be anywhere near 80, that's going to put him way up in front.
Exactly. And Rowdy's going into the circuit finals knowing he has the national finals made in December.
Yep.
So he's just here to have fun and really ride well and hopefully make a trip to Pocatello as well.
And I think it reflects when he is having fun. He looks like he's just in control and enjoying it.
Exactly.
They're going to do it? You think it's 80?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 82. There you go.
82. There you go. I like that. 242. That is going to do it for him. Take a look at an 83-point ride. This is Jason Havens, and listen to the pickup in.
Whenever you're ready, pal. Let's wait for the corner, okay? Okay, right here. Ready. There you go.
Good job, Jason. He edged out Rowdy Buckner by 1 point in the round, but the big story is Rowdy. He's going to win the average, and she's got him standing by. Let's say hi.
It's an exciting year here in 2005 for Rowdy. He just won a circuit championship. He's actually getting married in a few days and will be making his first trip to the National Finals Rodeo. What a good thing to do here in Oregon, though. You came out tonight, won the average. You had an outstanding horse, but he was a little different. Came out and spun. Did you know much about him?
I've never seen him before. They said he was good, and I don't know. You're going to get on a good one here no matter what, so you just got to let her roll, and everything will take care of itself.
He was spinning a little bit, moving different. Were you just going with every jump there?
Well, you got to expect the unexpected anywhere you go. I mean, horses are just like us. They can do anything any given time, so I was really excited how it went out, and couldn't be happier.
So now looking at that, you won the average, you'll be competing in Pocatello, but even more exciting, you're going to the National Finals Rodeo in a couple weeks. What do you think about that?
I was just happy I got to ride, because I got hurt like 8 weeks ago, and this was my first time back, so everything felt good, and still a little rusty, but it'll come off.
Good practice for you. We wish you luck.
Thank you very much.
Back to you.
It's all over but the smiling. Rowdy Buckner on 3 head. He is your year-end average champion.
Yeah, you know, and Rowdy winning the average let Bobby Moat move up, who was second in the standings, you know, the year-end standings. So Bobby Moat and Rowdy Buckner, they're going to be some people to reckon with when it comes down to Pocatello.
You got it. Congratulations to Jason Havens, Sean Culver, Jason Sherman. They all picked up checks in our average or the aggregate. Next, it's the big boys. Steer wrestling's coming your way. Throw a 500-pound steer down in 5 or 6 seconds? These guys can. Steer wrestlers coming your way. The total on 2. Let's take a look at it. Brad Gleason, Touchy, Washington, 8.9. That's fast.
Yeah, you know, he's a little more than a half second ahead of Mark Boltinghouse. It is going to be an interesting race for the aggregate.
Let's take a look at the rules of the run.
Steer wrestling is the fastest event in rodeo. The objective of steer wrestling is to chase down a 600-pound steer and wrestle it to the ground using only leverage and strength as quickly as possible. The steer wrestler, also known as a bulldogger, starts his run at the back of the box to the left of the chute behind the barrier. In the box to the right of the chute is the hazer. The hazer's job is to keep the steer running in a straight line. When the steer wrestler is ready to go, he nods his head and the chute opens. The steer wrestler rides to the running steer and begins his transition from saddle to steer. The horse is trained to run past the steer as the cowboy dismounts. As the bulldogger reaches the steer's head, he must consider his speed, the ground conditions, and the size of the steer to maximize the leverage, momentum, and timing needed to throw the steer. The time starts when the barrier is released and ends when the steer has been thrown and all 4 legs point in the same direction. Beginning to end, a steer wrestling run lasts 3 to 5 seconds and is timed to 1/10 of a second. But if the steer wrestler exits the box before the barrier is released, he's assessed a 10-second penalty.
Here comes a highly respected name in rodeo, the Curran family. Tony Curran of Dayton, Washington, a national finalist, and buddy, this is where you shine. 2004 world champion Luke Branquino.
Yeah, you know, Tony, he's a great guy. He's a heck of a cowboy, ropes calves very well. You know, has been to the national finals in the steer wrestling. He knows what it's all about. Rides a great horse. I've been on this mare, and she works awesome.
Former champion here, and it just wasn't yesterday. It's been a while back. He's been doing it a long time.
Yeah, you know, he misses the barrier just a little bit right there, getting off. One thing about Tony is he makes the same run. That steer tries to pull his head up on him and slip a horn. He had to reset that steer's head and get him laid over. He's going to be 8 and 9 on this steer.
8.9. That is not going to help him at all. Little tough luck there. Isn't it terrifying about right here?
Only
a little?
Yeah, not too bad.
Not too bad.
Just kind of depends on the steer you have drawn. If that steer was to stop pretty hard,
yeah,
it might have hurt.
That's what I'm saying. Knock your jawbone into the next state. Carl Siders, Adrian, Oregon. He's thinking about that 8.9, but when you back into the box, what do you think about? Just do the best you can right at that moment.
You know, I always tell myself to score good and bulldog good. That's all you can do. It's not you against the other guys. It's you against the steer you have drawn, and that's the way you got to think about it.
Making the run, reaches out.
Carl got a good start, but when he caught that steer, I don't know if that steer dropped his head or Carl kind of shoved his head down, but it's hard to get their nose hooked when their nose is that low to the ground.
Yeah. You think it was a combination of both?
We'll get to see here, hopefully, in the replay to see Carl gets off and just kind of hit that steer low and never really pushed on his feet. If he could have used his feet a little more and brought that steer's head up to him, it'd have been a lot better off. You know, he's going to come in with 7 and 7.
Right. Tyler Bronkhorst, Burbank, Washington. 13 and 6 in the first round, but go 2 was pretty good to him. 4.4. It's all about the average for the year end, but the guy who wins the most money gets to go to Pocatello as well at the year end.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and right now it's anybody's ball game in this average. Tyler needs a bulldog good, and hopefully he'll have a chance. That steer dog falls on him right there, and he gets away.
A lot of folks may not know what that is, dog fall. He didn't quite go down. You've got to throw him correctly. The rule book says all 4 legs out the same direction.
See right here when he hooks that steer's nose, actually he slipped off that steer's nose is what caused that.
Gotcha.
Yep, that's just bad luck right there.
Gotta have them all pointing the right way. Alex Robertson, Bend, Oregon. This spring, he kicked off a great year down in Tucson, Fiesta de los Vaqueros, the party of the Cowboys, and made a pile of money.
Yeah, you know, Alex is a great bulldogger. He did good at Hermiston. And look here, he gets a good start. That's the steer, I believe, that Sean Greenfield missed. That steer kind of dropped his head, and Alex did a great job getting him caught.
Had a little bit of trouble with him there. If he could have flopped him down right as he got a hold of him, that would help.
Yeah, definitely. But, you know, he hustled up and got that steer rolled over in 6 and 8. Not going to win any money in the average or this go-around.
Here's another look at it. Boy, that horse put him in the right spot.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and like I said, that steer just kind of lowered his head when he went to catch him.
Good job. 6 and 8. Travis Truccio, Stanfield, Oregon. 3rd trip here to the circuit. Here's a University of Montana business degree man.
Yeah, you know, and Travis, he doesn't have to worry about anything. He has the circuit won already on money 1 right there. Oh, he rides up a little too far, and that steer checks off. He's going to have a bruise on his butt come tomorrow. You know, he hit the ground pretty hard right there.
I know you've done that before. When you're walking back, you go, don't limp, don't limp, don't limp.
Yeah, exactly. Don't show him my pain. But,
Ouch.
you know, you could see right there that hurts a little bit, and it's just a tough guy image he's trying to hold up.
Oh, boy. I guess we all try to do it, don't we? That's a rough way to hit the old ground.
We'll be right back after the break with more steer wrestling from the Hooker Creek Event Center here in Redmond, Oregon.
Oregon. He was 4.7 in the first round. That got him a 3rd place check. Nothing wrong with that. Keep it alive in the average. I got a lot of faith in both these Knowles guys. They're young, they're talented, and they are cowboys.
Yeah, exactly. You know, he broke the barrier in the second round, was 4-4, but he still has a chance. Gets the steer caught, hooks his nose, lays him over.
Wow.
Good run and a 4 and 5.
He just takes over number 1 with that 4.5. I'd hate to be that guy. Young, good-looking, rich.
You know, that was a great run. He caught that steer's head and really got him laid over fast.
Let's keep it in the family. Cousin Trevor comes up next. Mount Vernon, Oregon is home. He's the one that is qualified for the Wrangler National Finals. You'll see them both there, though, here in the next 2 or 3, 4 years. They're both great competitors. You're going to see them there a lot.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and they both ride the same mare, and they ride her good. They do a good job. Trevor misses the barrier pretty bad, and steer runs off the left.
Oh.
You know, and he was long in the first round and didn't place in the second round. He figured, why take a chance getting myself hurt, and just rides by.
It just didn't work.
Exactly. You know, like I said, he missed the barrier and just didn't want to take a chance.
At some point in time, it's got to overrule in your brain to say, I think I better save my life here.
Oh, definitely. I mean, you got to think of the future, too. There's no need of hurting yourself if you don't need to. Right there, he felt like he wasn't going to win any money, so he just rode on by.
No problem. Here's the 2nd place finisher in the first round, Mark Boltinghouse. If he can be quick here, tack that on with the 5 in the second round. He's 9.6 on 2. Lots of numbers, but average.
Yeah, look here, Mark got a great start. This is the steer that they won the second go-round on. He tipped him over in 4.3. That was a great run. But that's going to put him 0.3 of a second behind Brad Gleason in the average. So he's winning second right now. He doesn't have a chance to go to Pocatello, but he bulldogged good this week.
He's got a stranglehold on number 1, 13.6 on 3. Brad Gleason does, but it's certainly not over. I always like to tell a story about Travis Carnine from Echo, Oregon, about not starting to rodeo until he was a freshman in college. He's up next. And that gives some hope to the guys out there that didn't grow up on a ranch or didn't grow up riding a horse.
No, exactly. And steer wrestling is one of the events where if you didn't grow up, it's a lot easier because you don't have to swing a rope, you know, and all you have to do is kind of learn how to ride a horse. Look how big and strong Travis is right there.
You bet.
He rode his horse good, rode up that steer, got his head caught. He's a 4-2. I mean, that's a smoking run right there. He did a good job. And like I said, it's easier for guys that haven't been around rodeo to pick up on it.
He was going for the go-around. He was really long in that first round. He needed to be quick here. Just pick up the go-around money, do the best you can there, and he did it exactly the way he wanted to.
Yeah, that was a good run, had a good steer, and he made it work.
B.J. Truccio, it's a 10-year-old quarter horse. What's the life expectancy of a rodeo horse?
Oh, they're rodeoing on horses up in their 20s. You know, that's as good as we're taking care of them nowadays. That horse works good. I've ridden him before and won money on him. Nice horse. BJ rode up there, caught at steer's head good, and makes a good run.
4.6. Could he have been any quicker?
Well, you just have to see. Right here, he gets that steer's head caught. But you see how that steer stepped out behind the Hazen horse?
Yeah.
Right there, if he could have got just a little tighter go, he might have been able to swing that steer a little faster. But I'm not taking nothing away. That was a great run.
Easy to be an armchair quarterback.
Exactly.
Huh? This is one of my favorite guys in the world of rodeo, Brad Gleason. 42 years young, and he bulldogs like he's 25.
You know, Brad's a good guy. I've rodeoed with him. I rode his horse at the finals the first year I made him, and he was great to have in your corner because he's been there, he knows the game. And right here, look at, he gets a good start, makes a good run, just a businessman run, and he's hoping he's going to make a trip to Pocatello with that aggregate title.
If he could have airplaned him, in other words, gotten those hind legs up off the ground where he just flopped on his side, he could have maybe trimmed off a couple, 3 or 4 tenths.
Yeah, you know, he is 4.7 right there. That steer hung up a little bit. It may cost him a few tenths, but not very many.
That's a 4.7, great looking run. That's going to give him 13-6. He goes way ahead in the average, nice, smooth. That's just his style, right?
Yeah, exactly. That was a great run.
Travis Carnine, he is on cloud 9. When that crowd's cheering, there's nothing in the world like that.
No, exactly, and this is great to do victory laps. It gives the crowd to see the champion of the go-around again, and it lets Travis get pumped up.
Boy, that is a great feeling right there. What an exciting round. Travis was 4.2, but with big checks, Mark Boltinghouse, 4.3, Blake Knowles, 4.5, and a 4.6. But we've got the average champ, the aggregate, standing by, Brad Gleason.
In true champion form, Brad Gleason did it again. Had a great time of 4.7 this afternoon. Last contestant to go, were you nervous out there? What was going through your mind?
Well, they kind of set it up that way to where you have to go last if you come in the lead. So, yeah, it's one of those deals where hopefully being around those situations in the past that it pays off with a little bit of experience there. I kind of had to work for that one a little bit. I had a steer that ran pretty hard. They'd done well on him last night, but he wasn't really my favorite. But I need to thank Tony Curran. He let me borrow his horses here. I wasn't able to bring my own, and he did a great job hazing for me. Horses were good, steers were good, so everything turned out just right.
It did. It worked out perfect. You'll get to go, what, your 5th time to the Dodge Circuit Finals?
Yeah, I'm not sure how many times I've been there, but it's a great rodeo, and it's always one. I mean, that's our goal. You know, the circuit guys to get there. It pays real well, and it's a good rodeo, so it's always fun to go there.
Good. Well, congratulations. We'll look forward to seeing you there. Back to you.
They'll pay out 4 monies in the aggregate. There's a lot of congratulations to go out today.
Yeah, Brad Gleason, fastest guy to throw 3 steers down with a 13.6. He's going to Pocatello as the aggregate champion. But also, Travis Terusio won 5th in the aggregate, didn't win any money. He's also going to Pocatello, but that's because he's the year-end champion. He won the most money at all the rodeos in the circuit this year.
Boy, congratulations to both. Next, you got a rope, you got a ride, you got to tie them down. Tie down roping, coming your way. Welcome back to the PRCA Dodge Columbia River Pro Rodeo Circuit Finals in Redmond, Oregon. Tie-down rope and the finesse event is coming your way. Last night was exciting.
Yeah, the leader's on 2. Ty Sturz at 20.3, but there's only 1 second and 3 tenths separates 1 through 4.
You gotta know the rules. Here they come. Rules of the run.
The objective of tie-down roping is to rope the calf and tie any 3 legs together as quickly as possible. The cowboy starts in the right box behind the barrier. The cowboy calls for his calf by nodding his head. The calf is given a predetermined head start. The cowboy must rope the calf, bring his horse to a stop, transition from horse to the ground, and run down the rope to flank the calf. The calf must be standing on all 4 legs before the cowboy can flank the calf. With the calf on the ground, the cowboy gathers up any 3 legs and ties them with a piggin string finished with a knot called the hooey. When the cowboy has completed the hooey, he raises both hands to indicate he's done. The cowboy then remounts his horse and rides toward the calf, putting slack in the rope. A 10-second penalty will be added to the time if the barrier is broken. A no time will result if the calf doesn't stay tied down for 6 seconds after the rope goes slack. There's also a time limit, which can vary from rodeo to rodeo.
Dick Hoffman, Hermiston, Oregon. Dick needs to really crack out and do something here. It's not that he hasn't been trying, just Lady Luck hasn't been smiling over his shoulder. The first 2 rounds, 13-1, 12.4.
Yeah, 25 on 2 is going to be a little long. He's going to really have to run at it right here. Gets his calf rope, steps off his horse. Oh, hangs his foot in the stirrup. I've done that before, and that does not feel good, especially when you land right on that shoulder. He's going to flank his calf and just tie him up. He knows he's out of it. He's just going to get this calf tied up, go home and practice for next year.
Yep, that right hip. is going to feel a little bit bad here in a couple of days.
Yeah, I mean, that's a bad deal getting your foot hung in the stirrup, especially when you're trying to get off your horse as fast. You can see right here, steps off, foot hangs in that stirrup.
Ouch.
There's only one place for you to go when your foot hangs in the stirrup, and that's to the earth.
That is down. You know, if you watch some of the old videos of 30 years ago, a lot of the guys used to get off on the left-hand side of the horse and then go under the rope. They stopped doing that. This is just so much quicker, I guess, huh?
Yeah, exactly. You know, back in the day, they used to rope a lot bigger calves. They figured their horses could work better. They could be faster. Now everybody's stepping off with a slack in their hand or just getting off the right. You know, and it sure does speed up your run.
Talk about big cattle. I saw a 1959 Salinas. I'll bet they were bulldogging 1,000-pounders from there.
Big cattle back in the day.
Paul Cope, Nampa, Idaho. It's not just Oregon and Washington.
No, exactly. You know, a circuit's made up of several different states in some cases. This one happens to be Oregon, Washington, and northern Idaho, and that's where Paul's from.
Looks like he's got a little bit better calf this round. That calf that he had last round, I mean, he came from the porker pen, but this one's all right.
Yeah, exactly. You know, right there he fumbled his tie quite a bit, and it cost him. He's 11-7. He darn sure could have been in the 9 seconds if he could have, got that calf tied up faster.
Anything can happen. He's 11.7 in the lead right now. Shane Erickson, Terrebonne, Oregon, 11.7 in round number 1. He was just one hole out of the money. He pays 4 places every round and the average.
Yeah, 10-9 on his second one. He's trying to win something right here. That calf gets around him, and that's hard to make up time. Then he's having trouble flanking him.
Oh, man.
Getting him strung up there and tied. Come on, hurry. And you know he's disappointed in himself right there. If he could have got around that calf and got him flanked faster, you know, he's 12-4. He sure could have been in the 9s also.
Well, the smoke's flying out of the old ad machine. 35 flat, 35 seconds on 3 runs. And I don't care what you're doing in what game or what sport. Rodeo's just one of those games that everything happens quickly. Muscle memory. How about it?
Yeah, exactly. You know, these guys practice. They get to the point where they're trying not to think about the run they have to make. They just react to it. And it's the same in any of the events. Steer wrestling, bull riding, bronc riding. You can't think about it during your run or you know, that slows you down. You just have to react.
He's a little disappointed. I can understand why, but Shane will be one of those competitors. He'll be back time and time again, and he'll be in the winner's circle, guaranteed. 11.7. Here's what it looks like. That's Paul Cope. He's your leader so far. There's more tie down roping coming up after this. We're back in Redmond, Oregon with more tie-down roping. And those of you sitting at home with a little gray on top of your head, I want you to cheer for this guy right here, Johnny Sloan, Ellensburg, Washington. He won a circuit championship about 20 years ago, but that doesn't mean that a little longevity won't make him win today.
No, Johnny's a great roper. You know, even being the old guy, he'll jump out there and beat these kids. He has a running calf right here, gets it on him. See how he holds his slack? That shoots him down the rope so much faster.
You bet.
Got him strung, getting 2 wraps, and fumbles his tie. You know, that didn't cost him too much. But right there, if we get to see it in slow motion with the Hui timer, he stuck his hand up while he still had his other hand on the piggin string.
A little tricky.
Yeah, and the judges, some of the judges, if they're not very experienced, see that and they'll drop the flag. They're not supposed to drop it until he has both hands off the piggin string, though.
Tricks of the trade you're telling us here, huh?
Yeah, exactly, you know. And right there, he knew he was costing himself time. So you see it happen a lot of times, but these judges, they're so sharp. They know when to drop the flag. Right here, pulls his hui, sticks his hand up, and then finishes his hui. You know, and a lot of times the judges, they'll hold it a little longer if you do that.
Yeah, I'll be darned. Well, that's experience talking right there.
11-6.
Seth Hopper, Stanfield, Oregon. Here's a guy that, you know, great things is going to come out of this guy. Mr. Optimistic. He's always got a smile on. You're going to see him winning a lot of money in years to come.
Yeah, Seth rope's so good right here. He has that calf that Paul Cope run in the other round. Oh, his rope broke on him.
No way.
You know, those grass ropes, if they get a nick or a fray in them, they don't hold up right there. And you can see when that slack got tight, that rope snapped. Wow. Oh, I see what happened. He had that calf's tail curled. And like I said, when they do that, it puts a twist in those grass ropes, and it makes them where they snap pretty easy.
Oh, he is unhappy with that. He turned around and threw his piggin string. Son of a gun.
That's just bad luck. You know, he had it on that calf really fast, too.
And he was in a good position. He was about 21.6, something like that on 2.
Yep.
Gosh, Brett Hale, 10-0 Washington. No score in round 1. Go for the go-around. When you're on the big old merry-go-round, you got to reach for the brass ring, and here it is.
Boy, he got a good start, really got it on that calf. Held his slack, helped him shoot himself down the rope. Got that calf strung. One wrap and a hooey. There you go.
We talk about gambling in the tie-down rope, and here it is. He's kind of hurrying back. When you're at the live event and you're watching it, you can see him. And they kind of hurry back, get in the saddle, ride up, cross your fingers, cross your fingers. He only wrapped him once. It could kick free.
Yeah, especially when you put a wrap and a hooey on. You know, it's just one less wrap to ensure that calf's going to stay tied. Right here, you know, you could see if they pull their wraps tied or not. But it doesn't matter when you put one wrap and a hooey. If that calf tries hard enough, they're going to get up.
That could hold to win this round. It's a 9.4 second run. It paid off.
Yep, it held. That was a great run.
I was a little spooked there. Nice job. Tony Green, Madras, Oregon. Tony's thinking about what just happened in the arena while they're getting that calf up and getting things ready to go. That's going through his mind. Mentally preparing to beat a guy that just smoked him. I mean, he just smoked him. What do you do?
Well, you know, Tony was 9-2 in the second round, so it's not impossible. He knows it's not impossible. He's thinking, man, if I can come back and do what I did last night, I'm going to have a great opportunity.
He beat him by 2/10 last night. See if he can do it again today.
Good start. Got it on that calf quick. But right there, you see how he didn't keep that calf on his feet.
Yeah.
That cost him time, getting him up. Then he missed, strings him.
Uh-oh.
He's just having a little trouble right there. That's a smart move. He just held the pig and string with his bottom hand and wrapped up the feet and put his hooeys on.
The rule book, you do not have to string that front leg. Just as long as you get all 3 legs, any 3 legs, tied up, that's all that matters. If you tie them correctly, doesn't matter how you tie them. You can tie them with a Boy Scout knot if you want.
But right here you can see, holds his slack. If he would have pulled on that rope just a little bit to keep that calf on his feet, he could have been really fast here. Now he has to get that calf back to his feet and hurry his tie. That's going to cost him right there.
And again, here in Redmond, big fat calves. They're not small. They're not easy. If you're going to rope here, you better bring your tie-down rope and pants.
You know, these guys are experienced. See right there, he misses his string.
Yep.
String comes off. Watch how he grabs it with his bottom hand.
There it is.
See how he holds it?
Yep.
You know, that's just experience right there. And he did a good job getting that calf tied up. Unfortunately, it's going to cost him some money.
You'd have to sit in the living room and practice that a time or two before you could do it smoothly.
Yeah, oh yeah, exactly. You know, and that's why I say muscle memory. They practice like that.
Here's a run. Brett Hale, 9.4. That's just about as smooth as you can get. We'll be right back with more tie-down roping. Brad Goodrich is one of those guys that is incredibly hard to beat. 6 times to our Wrangler National Finals Rodeo, 18 times to our circuit finals.
Yeah, he's a great cowboy. And you know, Brad got tired of finding a rope that didn't have the right feel, so he started his own rope business called Good Ropes.
Right.
Seth Hopper might need to go find one from Brad right now, but you know, he's a great competitor, a great guy, and you know, he's a family man.
Did I see what I think I saw?
Yeah, it sure looked like he broke the barrier right there. Calf really went hard to the left, and you know, Brad tied him up. 8.8, great run, but I think, you know, with plus 10, it's not gonna let him win any money.
I think the hooey timer ended up at 4.4. That's one of the fastest hooey timer times that we've seen all weekend. Well, you know, if you're down in the 3s or low 4s, that's quick.
Well, exactly. You know, he was 8.8, not counting the barrier, so you figure he was 4.4 seconds from the ground, from the time he touched the calf. You know,
half the time
on the horse and
Yep.
half the time on the calf. That was you know, a great run. Unfortunately, he broke the barrier.
We've got to think about that barrier and have a little closer look at it, and I hope we get a chance to, because it's so integral in your time, in the timed events, and it doesn't matter what timed events it is.
Right there, that horse got it with his leg.
Let's take a look at those rules of the barrier.
That man has won 11 times.
In the 3 rodeo timed events, riders start their runs behind a barrier, a line stretched in front of the box. The barrier is used to give the calf or steer a predetermined head start, called the score. Once the animal's chute is opened, it runs into the arena, and when it reaches the score line, a breakaway loop on the animal triggers the release of the barrier in front of the competitor. If the cowboy leaves too early and breaks the barrier, 10 seconds is added to his time.
Jeff Coelho, he's one of those guys that could be 10-6. He already was. Go around number 1. He's from Echo, Oregon. Here's the rattlesnake guy.
Yeah, you know, Jeff got bit by a rattlesnake and darn near died, but he's a tough guy and got to the hospital. It was touch and go there for a while, he said.
He was 10 flat in the second go-around. This is the kind of guy that's so consistent, he can do that over and over and over again. Consistency, it's got to be the key in rodeo.
Again, right here, that calf pushed on him just like he did in the second go-around, kind of straining, not really taking the tie very well. You know, he's a little late at the barrier, but I think, you know, he's going to be 11-1. It's going to put him up there in the average, just not where he needed to be.
All over body fitness is important, and especially right here because it takes your legs, of course, your body to lift, your arms to lift, your upper body. But once you sit down on kind of the hind quarters of that calf, you got to push with your legs. You got to gather them together and hold them while you tie them.
And you can see right here, Jeff gets him gathered, but you can see how that calf is straining.
Yeah.
You know, and that causes causes you to fumble your tie. It's hard to make a tight tie on him, but Jeff does a good job right there.
11.1 for Jeff Coelho. Ty Hawley, Mount Vernon, Oregon. No score in round one. Go for the gusto. Push on the barrier. You got to push on it a little bit if you're going to be first.
Yeah, exactly. With no time in the first round, he's going to have to run at it pretty hard. Right there, he got a decent start, got it on that calf fast. Right here, you see how he held his slack, kept that calf up on his feet?
You bet.
Didn't get a clean flank, but gathered those legs, 1, 2, and a hooey. Actually, 1 and a hooey. He didn't even put 2 wraps on him.
9.4 is the time to beat. And I don't believe he's going to beat it. Nope, but he's right on the money. He's going to tie it up, 9-4.
Exactly. You know, that was a great run. The only thing I seen there is, you know, that calf, if he would have got a little cleaner flank, he could have got a cleaner gather on them legs. But that was a great run right there.
Unlike the team roping, these ropes are tied onto the saddle horn. They stay tied onto the saddle horn. So once you're up the calf, how you handle that slack makes all the difference in the world. Keep the calf standing up.
You know, and exactly, it just depends on how wild the calves are and how big they are. Obviously, the weaker the calf, the more you're going to want to keep them on their feet. You know, Ty did a great job right there. That calf spun around, and what I liked is how fast he was from his horse to the calf.
Makes a big difference. All right, here's the kid that can do it all. He's number 1 in our average on 2 right now, Ty Sturza from Hermiston. It's his first trip here, and he has not cracked under pressure, not once.
No, he won the first round, 4th in the second round, and he's fixing to do good to here. You know, he got it on that calf fast, got him flanked, he got him gathered, 1, 2, and a hooey.
Man.
Look there. That was a great run by Ty. He's going to walk out of here with a lot of money. If this calf stays tied, he's going to be the average champ, and he's going to take a trip to Pocatello.
And he could stay to win the round, too.
Exactly. That was an awesome run. Look here. They're calling him in as a 9-3. He's going to win the round. He's going to win 2 rounds and 4th in a round and win the average. That is just amazing with the competition he was up against this week.
There's the old hooey timer, 4.5 seconds. He handles them good on the ground, too. They're, you know, young talent. We've got so many 19, 20, 21-year-olds coming through the ranks right now that are just showing us how it's done.
Yeah, that was a great run, and you know, he's going to have a good time in Pocatello, and he's going to be one to reckon with there.
Congratulations, buddy. You did awesome. Go around number 3. He's going to stay on top, of course, but there's a 9.4 and another 9.4 in the top 3 holes. 11.1, 11.6, and 11.7. Lots of money to be spread around.
Yeah, exactly. You know, only paid 4 holes. Ty's going to get to go to Pocatello as the average champ, and I believe Brad Goodrich, he didn't have a very good, circuit finals rodeo, but he was the champion of the circuit, so he's going to get to go as well.
There's go around number 3. Did you see the flags going by? He was supposed to take a little victory lap. He said, no. Here he is.
It's the first time Ty has competed here at the Columbia River Circuit Finals. A lot of firsts for him. He's walking away with the average title and a chance to go to Pocatello and compete. You know, all the guys were coming over here giving you a hard time to get used to this. Do you think this is the first of many championships for yourself?
I sure hope so.
What are your goals for yourself? What would you like to do or accomplish?
I'd like to run good, make the finals, and just do it for a living for a while. I think that'd be a pretty good deal.
What about tonight? You were the last contestant going out there. Were you feeling the pressure being that last person?
A little bit, but I knew I had a good calf, and it just kind of seemed pretty easy when I backed in there. So not as bad as you'd think, I guess.
What about, you mentioned the calf, so you maybe knew a little bit about it. Do you go out and try to do the same consistent thing each time, or does every run depend?
Every run depends on the calf, circumstances, so on and so forth. The first night, I didn't know what was going to happen, so I just kind of run at the barrier and got lucky and won the round. And then last night, I had a good calf, but I wanted to stay in the average, so I backed off a little bit. And so that's kind of was my game plan.
Good. Well, the game plan worked. Consistency paid off. We wish you luck.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Great things are going to happen to that guy, I'll tell you that right now. It's all about Ty Sturza, total on 3, 29.6. What a weekend he's had.
Yeah, exactly. You know, he beat out Jeff Coelho by 2 seconds. Shane Erickson coming in with a 35 flat. Paul Cope, 36 flat. You know, that's a great calf roping. Best of luck to those two guys at Pocatello.
Great roping, guys. Bring that national championship home. Well, this is where it all began 100 years ago. Saddle Bronc Riding is coming up next.